Well, welcome back to Just a Bit of Banter, episode 4. Premier League dominates the preseason, and also very exciting, our first episode on YouTube. Boys, how do you feel? Welcome to YouTube for the show.
Thank you very much, Patrick, for setting all of this up. As you can tell, we're working with quite the production facility here.
He's got a brick wall.
Stock backgrounds here. And we put on our nicest tank tops for you.
I was going to say, you dressed for the
hat.
Yep, you dressed for the equation. You dressed for the equation, and I love the backwards hat there. It makes you look a lot younger. I actually want to ask your father if Mr. Caith can Greg come out and play for 2 hours.
Well, if you ask him, the answer will be no. So that's why I just would never ask.
Okay, better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's kind of how I live my life.
Come on, Dad. Please, come on.
And Antonio, welcome to YouTube.
It's been quite a journey for this, and I'm glad we're on the same page and get going on this. And yeah, man, we're ready to rock and roll, man.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump right into it. We want to start. We will be covering the preseason games. I know Greg and George both want to have a go at each other because obviously Brighton and Chelsea played, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the episode. But I wanted to start with a little bit of transfer updates. Obviously, we had the breaking news. Riyad Mahrez is no longer a Man City player. He is off to a Saudi club, and I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. But
he went somewhere.
He is off to the Saudi League. If one of y'all can pull that up in the background. It's actually a really good sound effect because he is a big loss and an unexpected one going into this season. Now, although it opens up a whole new world of possibilities for us to get a new winger at the club. And I just saw, it's probably just a rumor at this point. I don't think we're actually going to go for him, although he does have a release clause. And I know City love dealing with release clauses because we don't have to deal with the club. We can just pay it. Michael Olise over at Crystal Palace looks like it's rumored to be possibly Amara's replacement. Now, I don't necessarily know if we need him because we've got Cole Palmer. I'm a big fan of Cole Palmer. I think he could have a breakout season if he doesn't go on loan. But I got to be honest, if we get Olise, Patrick will be a happy boy. That guy is fantastic over at Palace, and I'd love to see him in a City shirt. I'd love to see how he does at a top-level club.
You know who I think you should get is Wingstop.
Wingstop?
Yeah, I would recommend Wingstop. In my opinion, you just get a little more bang for your buck. Ranch is a little bit better.
That is a good point. We are dealing with financial fair play right now. So
I mean, I feel like you as a club with just winning, the treble as you did, you probably got the money for Wingstop. I think you could spring for it. Maybe even get the large size ranch to share.
Maybe upgrade on that large size ranch. We get that 300 million cash out deal that apparently we've got sitting around from our winnings.
You can buy Wingstop for every man, woman, and child that lives in Manchester if you want it.
You're probably not wrong, but I don't know if they even know what Wingstop is.
Little 15-pack.
Honestly, this is a great time to bring in the comment section. If you live in the UK and you watch this and you have a Wingstop, please let me know because I'm genuinely curious now.
If you don't, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. All right, awkward silence. So the only other news I have is what everybody else already knows. We're still in hot pursuit of Vardiol as a center back. It was a crazy story though we had during the week. Obviously, we had the Here We Go from Fabrizio Romano, and he tripled down on it, which I've never seen it. I've never seen him do that. So I am of the opinion that he is kind of going to still be coming to the club, but I think his signature is not quite there yet because of the leak. The clubs weren't quite ready to go the official contract route there, and so it just spiraled out of control.
We haven't heard anything recently about him. It was just like what you said with him. It was still up in the air about it, with that stuff. So I wasn't.
It was. I think what happened. It was basically done, and then some over happy agents. I'm just repeating what I've heard go around the Twitter sphere. but I think it was just agents getting a little over eager, and whoever Romano has on his side as a leak, I don't know, he jumped the gun a little bit and it sent everybody, myself included. I was super excited. I was like, oh my
Yeah, it
God,
was everywhere.
you and I were going back and forth about like, we got to get this out. And I
Because
still think,
it was like right after about the Raid comment about that, and then
yeah, it
like
was pretty
maybe like
much
what like it was
Maris
like
to Saudi, Vardiel in.
it was like within maybe not even like what 10 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. It was
Something
pretty
like
quick.
that.
It was
Yeah,
pretty
and it was
quick, man.
wild, and it was going back and forth, and then it lasted like a day and a half, like all these transfer rumors do. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, yeah, now the deal is gone cold again, and it's kind of been interesting to watch. Is like everybody in the city community on Twitter, at least that I follow, is thinking the deal's off. We've lost them. Oh my God, our board sucks. And I guess the only thing I would say towards that is like Man City normally get the targets they want, and I've seen us walk away from deals. We did it last year with Cucurella over at Brighton before he went off to Chelsea, is we
Mhm.
walked away from that deal. So if we end up walking away from this deal and Romano's wrong and everybody's wrong, I'm sure we've got another target in mind that's going to fit just fine. Maybe Laporte stays. Like I really think you got to look at the options we have available to us right now. And I'm kind of against the grain here when it comes to, I would say what I see most often in the city community is I'm kind of can't wait for Laporte to leave. I know he did work for us, not last season, but the season before that, towards the end on our run. But he's just never been, I don't know, he's never been a player I've been very fond of. I think he's got too many mistakes in him. And I think I don't want to say he's not good enough for City, but I don't think he's exactly the type of winning mentality that we need. And I think if we have it's no surprise to me that the year we won the treble, we had John Stones and Ruben Diaz in our back line. I think we need somebody that gels with Ruben Diaz because, in my opinion, he's the future captain of the club. He's the one that's going to anchor that back line. So we need someone of his caliber and his ability to really gel with him and John Stones, and then we're going to have a solid back line that I think will be one of the best in the Premier League.
Interesting
Like that,
take.
man. That's interesting, and yeah, man. I think the big thing for me was the Mahrez thing about the transfer news about him, and seeing that you still got hope with your squad. I'm happy for you, man. They look pretty good today. So
Yeah.
and we can if we want to we can jump right into that one when they played. They're in Japan, right? Tokyo.
Yeah, they're in Tokyo right now
Tokyo.
playing. I gotta fly in here.
Was it?
They're in Tokyo right now doing preseason. They looked all right. Let me actually just pull up my notes here.
Yeah, Yokohama. No, I can't remember. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah, it's Yokohama. Yokohama.
Yokohama.
Yeah. I mean, it was a preseason game. I'll be honest. It looked like a preseason game. I think we're not as sharp as we can be, and that's okay because I mean that's the whole point of this game. I have a few first half standouts. I thought it was interesting that Ake started at left back just like he did for the Champions League final for the first half of the game. We had our first view of Kovacic in the midfield, which I thought he did. I was very surprised. He was a very standout player for me. Solid player. Did you let him? Was his contract up? Is that why he was going? Was he not a part of your plans?
He wasn't part of the plans. I think it kind of been a mixture with both on that. And like you said, he stand out pretty well. I saw some highlights with him, and excuse me. And I thought that the interview with Pep, just praising Kovacic with him of how he played today. Yeah, it's preseason, but the team they played today, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I thought they're just like newly promoted, and they took first place on. Forgive me, I can't remember the league.
Yeah, I don't know the J League very well, but
right, but they still won their league from this past season, so it's saying something, right? But how they played, I'm sorry, Patrick. We can
No,
go
go
on with
ahead.
this. And yeah, I thought Coach Mateo would play really well. Yeah, I think he played really well with him, and Julian Alvarez was out there. Saw him do his thing today, of course, with Holland. But yeah, man.
Yeah, Holland being
I thought
Holland.
Holland doing his thing, and yeah, man, not too bad. I know the goalie from Yokohama made some poor decisions with passing it right.
Well, so I mean, I'll get to that goal. And you're talking about the one Alvarez scored where Phillips presses him.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to that one in a minute, but I want to go back to Kovacic real quick because the thing that stood out to me the most, and I didn't listen to Pep's pre-match comments or post-match comments just because I was writing music all day. I'll be honest. I watched the game enough to prepare for this, and then I was writing music all day. But what stood out to me is and they talked about this when he came to the club, is his ability to dribble in tight spaces. And I had to wait for the pre-match to come out because I think the game kicked off at 2 this morning, Arizona time. And I slept in, I'll be honest. But
so rude.
One of the highlights was him dribbling. He was surrounded by like 3 players. I don't know. And he dribbled out of space. His decision making in tight spaces is very Rodri-esque in my opinion. And I'm very excited to see him. I think I actually think he's a wonderful replacement for Gundogan. And that is high praise because that guy has carried us through so many times in this club. His decision making, his passing, his ability to drift into the box. And one of the standout moments, I think, is how far forward Kovacic got. And he just seemed to slot right in. So to be fair, it's not a Premier League club. And it is still preseason. I hope he gets to play against Bayern because I'd like to see him against, no offense to Yokohama, higher opposition to see how he really does. And I want to see him more in the Premier League season. But I really do think if you can really have like a like-for-like replacement for Gundogan, that's about as close as we're going to get. He really impressed me today. The other person I thought stood out in the game was Grealish. I thought he looked so sharp on the left today. He looked like he had not missed training. He had just kept training and playing through his entire summer vacation, as it were. His passes were sharp. His decision-making was on point. I thought he looked quick. He looked pacey. He looked confident. And Grealish is such a confidence player. It was good to see him just come back from vacation and come back from his break and just slot right in. And it's like, yes, I won the treble with this team. I belong with this team. My only thing to Grealish is I hope it carries into the Premier League in that we see more goals and assists from him. And I think he knows that. Every City fan wants to see more of that from him. There's still that part of his game where I think he slows it down too much. But for a preseason with, no training in a month and a half, I thought he looked absolutely sharp. To your point with the goal with Julian Alvarez, Calvin Phillips makes that goal. His pressing he looks like he's up for the fight this year. I guess is the point I want to make with that is he really looks like he wants to be a part of this club. I know there's rumors still about him possibly leaving. The only thing I'd say that I realized during the game that frustrates me about him, it's not that I don't think he can't play for City. I think he can do the job. He's got to work on his touch. There's so many times where he receives the ball from Ortega or he's in a tight space and he's trying to play the little 1-2s with the team and his touch just lets him down. He's got this rough touch that I don't think he's used to having. And that's what needs to improve in his game if he's really going to come into a role in this team.
Yeah, gotcha. And I really like Grealish and how I'm glad he's around and how he did play today and with his highlight stuff. Like you said, it looks like he had no breaks and he's looking fresh off the games. And but yeah, man, with the the goalie's mistakes that he had, I agree with you on that when Alvarez made that goal. I think too as well as it's preseason, so everyone's getting the jitters out. They haven't played in quite some time, so it's It wasn't bad. Was it 5-3, 5-4?
Yeah, 5-3. And honestly, the goals against us, they're standard goals you score against City. We're pressing too high. You play a quick ball in behind, or we give away the ball in a dangerous area in our
which was the
third.
first one, which was
Yep,
I believe was the first one. He was
100%.
going
Yep.
across, and then
Well, the first one is just, I think the first one's just bad luck and poor defending, probably from Stones, honestly. The guy shoots, Ortega scores, and he happens to parry it out like in a very dangerous area, and we just don't clear it out enough. So he picks it up and he's got an easy goal. The second one, though, is definitely, it's the ball in behind, simple pass. No one's picking up that run. Grealish is ball watching, Akanji is ball watching, and it's an easy goal for Yokohama. And then the third goal against us is just miscommunication between Lewis and Ortega. So yeah, preseason stuff. I'm not worried about it at all.
yeah, it's just the
There's no reason to be.
I just like when it was right in front of the goalie, and he comes going one way, but then he turns right away and kicks on the other side to make that goal. I don't know if that was the first one or the second one, but yeah, again, it's preseason, man. But
yeah,
I mean, I think bad.
No, not at all. And Haaland's on the score sheet again. We saw Cancelo play, which is very interesting because of obviously everything that happened last season. My opinion on the matter, I don't think he has a way back into this football club. I just think he did too much damage with the fans. I guess I'm speaking for myself. He did too much damage with me with how he left on that loan to Bayern. But we'll see what happens. And if he's in the next game against Bayern, will be interesting. And if he's still here at the start of the Premier League season. But I've taken up enough time of this episode. This isn't the Man City show. So, George, speaking of preseason jitters, I did watch a little bit of the game against Wrexham. Watched about 20 minutes of it, and I think did you guys play a younger team in the first half?
We did. Okay.
Play. Maybe that's what it is, because I felt the same way. I was like, you were talking to me. You're happy with the 5-0 win, and that's awesome. But I got to be honest, man. There's still room for improvement in your side. But if you played a young squad, go ahead.
But yeah, man, and like all the, excuse me, yeah, like you said, play Wrexham and 5-0, great. But again, as well, this team from Wrexham and Wales, or if I'm not mistaken, they were also the champions of the other leagues.
Their story is awesome.
So EFL League 2, if I'm not mistaken, when they finished.
They just get promoted to there? I thought they were non-league and they just got promoted up.
They just got promoted,
2.
and they were from National League. And
that's
how they got first, and been playing them. And I mean, with these new guys who are coming in with on our side, with the Chelsea side, we got Mats who scored twice, we got Gallagher who scored, Christopher Nkoku. I'm really excited for Nkoku and Gallagher. But
City need a winger, by the way.
I was just pulling out some of the stats in here, and they were 94% accuracy on their passes today, and over like 600 passes compared to their 300 passes today. It just showed where the level, the Premier League and Wrexham, where they stand at. They put up a fight a little bit. It was a good one of those good preseason games for them. But I think it's going to be some time for them to develop with them in the future for them. But they're clearly not ready. And just that game, 5 goals. It was solid, man. I was happy for that game. It's preseason, but yeah, not too bad. But I'm really on top of Christopher Nkoku. I want to see Gallagher play more. I'm really excited for Angelo. Maria, looking for him. I think overall with the team, our defense could be developed more. Kess making some saves on the Brighton, I think we'll get to there, but on the Brighton side. But overall, this game, get the jitters out. I think they played above average, not just average, but they played well. Defensively, they can do some work on, with Thiago in there and Cucurella in there, and I think that line on the defense side would be pretty solid during. I'm not really worried about it on that side. So
I
I
think
was happy.
from the 20 minutes I saw, I think Pochettino's influence has been seen. It's very easy to see. Just looking from the outside looking in, you look less disjointed. You look more organized. And I think that's the one thing that probably stood out to me is when Wrexham had the ball, you guys got back into position very well. You had your two banks of four. That was your defensive shape. Just the fundamentals. Stick to the fundamentals. Your fundamental game, there's been a noticeable improvement, and I think part of that is getting rid of a lot of your dead weight. Obviously, you're still in a selling firestorm this summer. Is there anybody else that you're rumored to bring in right now, or are you kind of done for the transfer window?
If I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen anything recently. I think we might be done. Damn, we're on the spot, man. I think we're done. I haven't heard any rumors coming in that I'm aware of. But like you said, with Mauricio and just being more involved with it, that's I think you and I had talked about this a while back. Is develop these young players who are into it and want to develop and play well. It starts from the ground zero, and having your leader, the coach, mentor these new guys coming up, and these just young talent coming in, showing you're into it, and that do this, do that. It brings up a lot of the emotions that the players want to continue to develop and play well, and I see that a lot with the Wrexham game, and also on the Brighton side, and on the second game when we played. But it shows their character of how they want to keep getting better, and like you said, going to the fundamentals, and that's key one right there, and just developing and ongoing with them, and just showing those that the management with confidence and moving with them. If that continues on throughout the season, I hope it does, and I hope it does. I think Chelsea's gonna be. Come on, man! My Chelsea. I'm pretty happy with them. If they continue on this path. Again, it's preseason, but you gotta start. You start from somewhere, and seeing that, and you can see when everyone's how they're moving in there, and their passes, their what do you call it? Like more of head on the swivel, and not like just. I'm gonna keep.
They're not stationary, yeah.
Yeah, they're opening up. They're making plays, and you can see that, and Mauricio and the coach, when they're filming him or showing clips of him, you can see he's right into it. Like, yeah, go. He starts yelling, starts pointing, and all that, and show that.
What you want to see as a fan?
As a fan, absolutely. It's nice to see that, and again, I'm happy for the season coming up, and which is a couple weeks.
Yeah, and, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
Real quick before we move over to the Brighton game here, is it Chukwuemeka? Is that how you say it? He plays like right behind your striker.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his last name.
He really impressed. I think it was he that impressed me. It might have been your left or right winger as well. I forget. It's not Maatsen, but he impressed me from the little bit that I saw as well. But yeah, I would say, man, like overall, you're in. I mean, there's noticeable improvement. So I won't say Chelsea are back. I think you have. I want to see you play. Well, let's get to it. You're playing legit.
You can't say Chelsea are back. You can't say that. They got lucky today.
I just said I don't think Chelsea are back, but I want to see. And this is an excellent transition point. I want to see him play actual Premier League opposition. So, Greg, you played Chelsea today.
Sure did.
What are your thoughts on your game? I know it was a tough loss. I kind of caught the very back end of it, but take us through what you saw.
I'm not really too worried about this preseason loss today to the team, the likes of George and his team. I will say, right away, their uniforms were aggressively blue, and I think that was a little insensitive.
That's a good point. I
know,
actually hate your home kit. Your
I
home kit
was
sucks.
very happy with the kit we had on today. We looked like Beetlejuice. I thought that was pretty neat. Coming out swinging, 7 minutes or however many minutes in, Welbeck got that goal, just boom, boom, showing them what it was. To be honest with you, I think really the only first 2 goals were the ones that were the most important ones, because it seemed like the teams kind of fell into a preseason funk after, maybe that's just me. That's just my take on it. I feel like if the preseason is the same as it is in sports in America, it's not really something you take too seriously. So George, you can have your victory, but it is shallow, my friend.
Hey,
not wrong there.
we're gonna be, when we play again, it's not gonna be till the end, towards the end of the year, man. I mean, when I looked at it, it was December.
That's in your best interest.
So I'm gonna carry this victory and keep telling you that we won
in the preseason.
No.
Y'all can't touch me, so have at it.
Whatever.
Dude. So we just Chelsea won against Brighton.
Yeah, he did
until December.
Barely.
Yeah, it was barely.
And to be fair, Brighton was playing with 10 men because one of your youngsters
for
got a
like
red card.
half an hour.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and you scraped by with a win.
I've never seen somebody fall more like a cartoon than I see when Premier League footballers fall to the ground. It's ridiculous. And you know what's crazy, Patrick and George? I want you to know this, is I even saw this today myself. When they're not going to get called for a penalty, they get right back up. But when they do,
it's a miracle.
It's like the freaking coyote from the Roadrunner cartoons that's falling off a cliff. It's so comical and silly. It's just, oh my God. And another thing that Brighton had is in minute 17, one of our players just kicked the hell out of a ball, and it went right into the back of the heads of one of our players. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
No.
Oh my God. So that can't have helped.
Took him right to the head, dude.
Just right to the dome.
Right to the noggin, dude.
Right to the noggin. I mean, y'all answered back pretty quickly in minute 18. It was better playing when they get up there, and then it was a little bit of luck getting that ball in. Then it was tied 1-1, and then y'all just took it away from us.
Yeah, but it's like what Patrick said too, right? When you guys had that I don't remember the gentleman's name who had that red card. I think it'll be interesting if we did have a full team, right, and to see how that played out.
Yeah, because minus like Marsh, minus like Matoma and Welbeck, I think you played your B squad, didn't you?
Yeah, and I don't remember when.
Didn't Welbeck play for Arsenal? I'll look that up. Keep talking.
Yeah.
The guy's name who got the red card was Van Henke.
I think he's one of the youth players. Yeah, Danny Welbeck played for Arsenal.
The 20-year-old league or something like that.
Yeah, dude, he tackled him. He's playing like American football.
Yeah,
took him out, dude.
No, I saw the red card. I don't know.
Well, because he got a yellow already, didn't he? Didn't he got a yellow? And that was the second.
No, I think it was straight red.
Oh,
that's rocking. No, he had the yellow card out first, and then he went red.
Oh yeah, okay. So he got a double yellow.
Double yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could remember that, but then
what does that mean?
Just got it right away and just
two yellows mean a red card, so you're off. You're suspended for the next game. Versus a straight red would normally you're suspended for like 3 games, I think, in the Premier League.
Two
I don't know. It depends on the offense.
he's not only suspended for the rest of that game, he's suspended for the following game.
Yeah, he won't play the next game.
Oh no.
Well, I don't know how it works in preseason. Like
Yeah, I'm not
preseason
sure.
might have different rules, but in standard Premier League play, yeah, you're out for the next game.
Yeah. Well, it was still pretty offensive how blue the kits are. I'm not a fan, you know. And you know what? Another thing that was pretty offensive to me is Philadelphia was out in droves for Chelsea today, and they are no more the home team than any other team in any other city in America. Why did they choose Chelsea? That's so stupid. That's so stupid and offensive.
I mean, I could give you a logical answer, but I'll leave it at your rant.
I don't want logic, Patrick. I don't want you to fix it, okay? I want you to listen to me, okay? I want to be heard. Okay? Can you just
Dude, Greg has feelings today, man. You just let him have it.
Greg's on fire today. This is the most active Greg has been in the entire of this podcast.
It's the red hat, dude.
Come on your podcast. I sit in this chair. You know, my butt's definitely asleep, okay? At this point, this would be considered a hostile work environment.
You need to invest and get a nice chair, dude. Not one of those fold up ones, man.
What I need is to talk to human resources.
I need to speak to your manager, please.
Greg, you're wild. You're wild, dude. You're out of control, man.
I'm out of control.
But yeah, man.
I tell you, it's so ugly. That kit.
Yeah, your home kit is terrible, bro.
Just so ugly, bro. Why is it so aggressive?
What's with the white? What's with the white on the awkward places? Like I get it under here, the arm, but like on the back of the collar is terrible.
Dude, they want to be unique, man.
I don't need to.
No, you're not unique. You're not unique at all.
Haters gonna hate,
dude.
You know what?
Okay, so as far as uniqueness goes, straight up, as far as uniqueness goes, it's like Tottenham's
it's not
kit,
even unique. I had
and
like
then Chelsea
cars that color when I was a kid, like 2 different cars that same color, and I didn't like it then either.
I don't think you like anything, dude.
I probably
he wasn't destined. He doesn't like anything Chelsea. So
nah,
Greg, you're in good company.
Even the name. I've met a few since then, and you know, I was like, I'll give it a chance, but no.
I'll give it a chance, but I got to be honest. I don't see this going anywhere.
I don't see this going anywhere. It's not me. It's not you, but it is your name. So
yeah, you might be great, but your name.
You probably are. You probably have everything going for you, and I just can't deal with the fact that is what your name is. You know, and that's my dating advice.
So after seeing your teams
judge someone by their name only.
Thank you for that dating advice, Greg, the American sports commentator. You know, I got to be honest, I'm really sort of disappointed we didn't get the Macho Man Randy Savage voice today, but maybe we'll have it in the next episode.
Maybe we will.
So after seeing your team play, we can't change our predictions because we did them super early. And if you haven't seen that, go back and listen to previous episodes. I think it was the first episode we rolled out. For just a bit of banter, we did that. How do you guys feel about your seasons coming up with 1 game under the belt? Granted,
dude, not worried at all.
George has two games under his belt, so
whatever.
Yes, sir.
I know, and they want to be over prepared. You got to win against a former non-league team, and you barely scrape by against Brighton.
You know what, dude?
Whatever.
It's a win. No matter how you do. It's a win.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk to me in October.
It's kind of like the Champions League, right?
Hey Patrick, did you hear that Chelsea went to the youth girls 8 to 10-year-old soccer match and
they got a win?
Destroyed them.
Weird. That's crazy.
So technically it's 3-0.
It's still a win.
No, bro.
You know, it's still a win, and they got the win.
It's still a win.
It doesn't matter. It's still a
They were
win.
out there
Yeah.
slide
No
tackling
mercy.
these little
No
9-year-olds. No mercy, bro.
That is messed up, man.
These kids will never walk again. 'cause
But
of
it's
the
a win,
slide
right?
tackling.
Oh, it's a win.
right?
My name's
It's a
George.
win.
I'm the Chelsea fan. Oh, it's a win.
Why did you bring that up, man? You should have brought that up, man.
That was on the
Hey,
DL. I told you that in
you know what?
confidence.
You know what?
Unbelievable.
Life goes
Well,
on.
that was good. That was a good one, man. I like
That
that
was a
one.
good one. Sometimes I'm.
But
funny.
seriously, how do you guys feel going into your season after seeing for Greg 1 game and then George 2?
I'll let Mr. Emotional Greg go out first.
Dude, not worried in the slightest. In the slightest, we're good. Gonna take it all
All
of
the
it
way.
home. Gonna take it home to mom, wrap it up, put a nice little bow on it.
Here you go, Mom.
Gonna walk in and be like, Mom, look, your boy
Look,
did
Mom.
it. I did it all by myself. I
This
faced all
macaroni
my
drawing.
adversities, and I overcame, Ma. And I know that not everyone believed in me the whole time, but I did it all on my own. Nobody helped me. All on
Well, that
my
was
own.
great. George, how do you feel?
You know, dude,
All on my own.
after all this banter we got going on, got to hear it from the girls club, the 2 preseason, real teams, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's preseason. I get it, but you know, we scored 2 games and 9 goals.
You
So
seem
it's
to solve
not-
your scoring problem.
we sure did. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I sure wish we can change our early predictions though.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
However, it was.
I wish the same
and-
thing. I
and-
wish I could pick Brighton winning it by more points than I picked it initially.
He's going in hard. I like it.
You know, just because Chelsea won does not mean Brighton lost. Okay.
That's exactly.
I just want to
what it
make
means.
sure. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of how winning and losing works. Okay. Just because one team wins does not mean the other team lost. Okay. We still won today.
Please explain, because I'm done.
I'm lost.
It merits no explanation. I'm not going to explain.
It must be from Brian.
How
He's
games
operating on the
work.
4th dimension. He can't meet us peons down here, George.
No, I can't be bothered to explain to you basic things.
I am
about how
like God
games
and
work.
God like me.
Yeah.
Dude, this isn't like the
My
YMCA. You
butt
can't just give out
still
trophies like this,
by the
man. Hey, there's not.
It hasn't
we're
woken
not
up.
losers. They all get it together. And be like, hey, man, how did this team play? Oh, they did great passing, guys. Great passing, great goals, but you still lost.
When do you guys play in the Premier League?
December is our next one.
Who's at home? You or George? Or George or Greg?
No idea.
Dude, I have to.
It doesn't matter. I can't wait for that game.
Oh my god.
I gotta be honest. I actually
It's
hope
gonna be
Brighton
like
wins.
19-0, bro. We're gonna have
Probably not.
19.
Probably
we're gonna
not.
have we're gonna have our kit managers in. The refs are gonna take a shot. Everybody, dude.
I'm actually gunning for Brighton. I'm gonna be
You
honest.
might
I'm
as
not
well-
impartial on this at
Dude,
all.
we're gonna
I
let
want
some
Brighton to win that game.
fans come into the come
I
into
like
the
Brighton.
field.
Brighton's
I'm
cool.
sorry. Sorry for the ding, gentlemen.
Yeah, I like Brighton.
Yeah.
I've always
Did you hear that ding?
I like Brighton under De Zerbi. Yes, we did.
Sorry.
I didn't hear nothing, man.
I gotta say, just to wrap up the how we're feeling, like I'm excited about this season because the whole squad's reshuffling, and I'm really excited to see the new energy come in. You know, Holland's still gonna do Holland things. I think we got a solid core group, which is what I've been saying all summer long. I'm really excited to see us shuffle.
Yeah,
Going-
man, it's gonna
going
be very interesting, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited
The
for more of
Cupid
this.
shuffle.
Cupids. Oh, man.
To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left.
Patrick,
you
what do you
seen
think,
those
man?
videos of
Huh?
the people who make who play that at like a wedding, but instead of all the other instructions for the dance, it's all just to the left.
To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the
Now
left.
to the left, now to the left.
That's true. That's in like every freaking wedding.
Yeah, it is now. What did you ask me, George?
I don't remember. It got distracted by the
Oh,
keyboard.
come on, Greg.
It's my bad.
God dang it, Greg. Who
I
invited
have
us?
to contribute somehow. I don't know anything about football. I've
You
made this
contributed plenty.
clear.
You did solid, dude. Yeah.
I want to say one more thing though about
Uh-oh.
Roberto De Zerbi.
Oh, I love that guy. He's awesome.
Dude,
Future Man City coach.
freaking love him so much.
He's awesome.
He gave the best answers today, and I don't know if he's Italian or not. He kind of sounds Italian, but basically, when they do the whole sideline interview before they go into the locker room or the dressing
He
room,
is
as they
Italian.
call it, he's just like, oh, we just are gonna go have fun, and I was like, I freaking love this guy. He is amazing.
Greg
We're
is
just
slowly going to
gonna
have
go
Brighton
a
in his
lunch.
veins.
Dude.
I'm excited, dude.
All in.
I know.
All in.
I told you he'd get bought in.
Because
I told
Chelsea's coach, I paid attention to what he was doing too. He was yelling at people on the sidelines. He was yelling at them to take notes because they were having like a history final or something. And I did not think that was very professional. He had a game to watch. Luckily, you got to assume the assistant coach was paying attention because they eked out a win against Brighton, the future.
Did you hear that, Patrick? He said win. That's all I heard.
Yeah, I heard the word before that, eked out. Two words before that. I'm sorry.
Eked out.
Yeah, and you did.
I heard win.
I'm not impartial in this argument. I will lean towards Brighton every time over your piss poor club.
Yeah, you're piss poor. You don't have a piss to pour in? Pot to piss in?
Interesting.
Oh my god.
This is very interesting.
Ganged up.
Yeah, man, I'm 2 against 1, man. I need to get another one here, man.
Yeah. Gotta get another buddy. If you're a Chelsea fan out here and you want to come on and defend George, get on this.
I need some
Be
apples.
careful because
at just a bit to banter pod at gmail.com. Hit us up.
Be prepared to argue without logic because
there's no law. It'll come. Like I'll provide some logical arguments, but then you got to deal with Greg, and it's crapshoot. You don't know what you're gonna get.
You never know.
You never know what you're gonna get.
You never know what you're gonna get. Derp, derp.
All right, boys. Well, let's look ahead to our upcoming games. George, what do you have upcoming?
We got Newcastle coming in.
Oh, I gotta watch that game because I want to watch Newcastle. Hopefully, pick you apart.
Yeah, dude. We got them coming up, and then we got Fulham. So
cool.
And so yeah, I'm interested on the Newcastle game, which is that's the first one. So prediction wise, I think it's gonna be intense.
Somebody needs to write this down, by the way, because we'll forget it.
Okay, I got it. The Newcastle again, I think it's gonna be very competitive on it, and I'm gonna say 3-2 Chelsea.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun game. Because I think they're gonna roll out like their new signings.
Ooh, you're gonna see that. We're gonna see.
You're going 3-2 against Newcastle.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, I'll go 3-2 Chelsea. I'm assuming. Chelsea wins.
He was going 3-2 Newcastle. He knows his club doesn't have a chance.
Interesting.
I actually have to agree. I'm gonna go. It's preseason. Preseason's so hard. Predictions are hard.
So hard. Be careful you say that in the sentence.
That's what she said.
Yay. I'm gonna go 4-2 Newcastle.
God. Okay.
I'm gonna go 7-1 Newcastle.
He's gonna go way out there.
Go out
of spite.
Goodness gracious.
Out of pure spite. Just because I'm a dick.
4-2 Castle, and then I'm guessing 7-1 Chelsea, right, Greg?
No, 7-1 Castle. The newer one.
Of
Not the
course,
old one.
not the old one, the new one.
No. I'm not so sure about Old Castle.
Interesting. That's very
I do
interesting.
know about White Castle, and I can say that in my opinion, it is a
Delicious.
bit overrated.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Don't get me wrong, it is good.
It's no Whataburger
But-
though. I'm gonna be
But
honest. It's
see,
no
here's the
Whataburger.
thing: for sure, Whataburger is better. But when it came to Arizona, everybody got so excited about it.
That
and you
is
had to
true,
wait
and it
for
didn't live up to the hype.
So long. That
You're
was the
right.
problem.
You're
If
not
it was
wrong.
a normal line to get some mediocre burgers, little babies, it would have been a great
Not a problem.
experience.
You're absolutely right because it didn't
I
warrant the
waited over
line.
an hour. Yeah, you're.
You know what? You tell us in the comments what you think about White Castle. Because if you're from the Midwest, I think you have a different opinion. But out here in
Well,
Arizona,
you
it
probably
definitely
never
did
had
not
to
live up
wait
to the
2
hype.
hours for it.
Yeah, because they got so many out there.
Exactly.
This is the high quality content you come to this podcast for.
Yeah. White
Last
Castle.
week it
This
was
is White Castle.
unicorns and rainbows. This week it's White Castle burgers. You got to tune in next week to see what it's going to be. We'll come up with some bullshit. Don't worry.
We'll come up with some bullshit. And I know you were waiting all week long to hear about Glenn the Axolotl.
We're still
We will
week.
get to that, but let's get through our predictions. Let's
All right.
end on Glenn the Axolotl. So keep it back
Keep
here.
it back in your head, dude.
Back
Keep it
here.
there, dude. All right. Next one is we got a Fulham, and I'm gonna say
Oh, you'll be
Chelsea.
Fulham.
Chelsea.
Yeah, that's a rivalry for you, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 4-2.
I'll go 4-0. 4-0 Chelsea. Yeah, and that
4
one.
up.
Yeah, they're gonna play their strong lineup because that's your last preseason before the season begins.
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah, you'll play your strong lineup like what your actual starting 11 is probably gonna be. So I'm gonna go 4-0. Chelsea.
Gregory?
I will say 3-1 Chelsea.
Hey, babe.
I'll give you that one.
You give me that dub, dude. Appreciate
Give it up.
All right.
See, I'm not a monster.
So
are
up
a
next-
monster. You're my feelings, dude. Today. A little
That's
offended.
good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You need to be knocked down a few pegs. This Chelsea
Me
fan's
too.
got 2 wins under his belt in preseason. He thinks he's all high and mighty.
You damn right.
We
Damn,
gotta
take
wait
what I get.
for-
Yeah, knock him down a few pegs.
You just can't get too big for your britches.
Too
You
big
know?
for your brick. I got 2
Leave
games
them-
this week. So I
Yes,
got
sir.
Leave them
Bayern.
britches alone.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
we all have 2 games.
That's awesome. I got Bayern and Bayern Munich and Atletico. I'm gonna go. We both got preseason. I'm actually gonna go like a 2-2 draw against Bayern.
2-2.
Yeah, and then Atletico, I'll go like 1-0 City. Well, they'll both probably roll out their strong lineups, and Atletico is just they play. If Diego Simeone is still their coach, which I think he is, they're going to play BS ball, and they're just going to put 10 men behind the ball. So 1-0 City.
Greg, you want to take this one?
I would say for the first game, Patrick, your team will win by 2-1.
Okay.
In the second, I'm going to go 1-0 City.
All right.
On the rocket docket for our favorite team, Brighton, we have Luton
It's the
Town.
team of the episode, apparently.
Yeah, dude, all right. Skip me then,
Luton
apparently.
Town. We're coming in hot with Luton Town. Now I'm going to say this.
I got Brentford
No,
and
you got-
Newcastle next.
Are we sure?
Yeah,
I-
26th of July and 29th of July.
Okay, well, I guess I can't read a schedule. So, what were the teams again?
You have Brentford and Newcastle.
Brentford. Well, if we know one thing about Brentford, it sounds like a private school, and the kind of place where somebody would have to call father, and father will have to hear about this. So I'm going to say 2-1 Brighton.
Okay. It's probably a safe bet, actually.
2-1 Brighton. And then what was the other one again?
Newcastle. Not the old
Newcastle. This is going to be a tough one because we all know the Castles both old and new present a challenge. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 2-2. It's gonna be a draw.
Bold prediction.
Deuces.
Bold prediction.
I'm gonna say it. It's on the record.
George,
Can't
this
take
is
it
your
back.
chance to get back at him with your predictions.
19-0.
Something wild is out of there. It's like, I think. Oh, crazy to think though. I think Bayern played some like non-league team. George, give your predictions and I'll pull it up here real quick.
All right, Brentford game in Brighton, 3-1 Brentford.
Wow.
Newcastle, I'm gonna say 5-2. I think they're gonna pour it down.
5-2 the Castle.
Yes, sir.
You're saying I'm not winning either match?
No, sir. Sorry. The Italian stallion from Newcastle is gonna show up, dude. Sorry,
I
man.
gave you one match.
Crap.
I gave you one match.
They do have Tonali.
Dude, you got me 7-1. You kick rocks, dude.
Oh yeah. So, Greg, you laugh about the 19-0, but Bayern Munich played this. I think it's a non-league or Belgian team. They won 27-0.
Yeah,
A girls 8-10 soccer team, just like Chelsea. We just talked about it, bro.
Yeah, I watched it.
Freaking 27-0, like a bunch of jerks.
You won against
And he give me neither game. Come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Well,
That's
the kind of character you're dealing with on this show. So, if you'd like to be on the show,
Scout biscuits.
You want some biscuits? Is that what you said?
Girl Scout biscuits.
okay,
Girl Scout
you got Brentford and Newcastle.
Yes, sir.
Newcastle.
I'll give you. I don't know anything about Brentford. I just know they beat us. They're the only team that beat us twice last season.
Damn.
And Brighton play like City, or they want to play like City. I'm gonna go a 2-2 draw against Brentford, but I do think you're gonna lose against Newcastle like 3-1.
You know, everyone has their opinion.
Doesn't mean they're right.
Yep. They're like bum holes. Everybody's got one.
So, since this is YouTube and this is our first episode, we'd love your engagement on the show as well. Put it down in the comments what you think of the predictions coming up for your team. If you're a supporter of another team that's playing one of our teams, give your predictions. We'd love to hear them. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. But
ring that notification bell.
Bing, bing. So, Greg, to round out this episode, we have not had a Glenn the Axolotl update. Now is your chance.
Man, it's been a rough couple weeks for Glenn. I'm going to tell you.
Has he chose a team yet?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't gotten to that. Things have been really busy in Glenn's life. He's been through a lot of stress. He's going through a rough time financially. Glenn is. I'm going to tell you. He's a little bit backwards in his mortgage. The interest rates.
Tank, you mean?
His mortgage, his tank. Tomato. He recently got laid off from his union job, which normally doesn't happen. So, clearly he did something pretty bad. But what I will say is his little feelers are growing back. So he's doing well. We're optimistic about the future. He's been drinking. He's been drinking a little bit. And that's
happens to the best of us.
It happens. It does happen to the best of us. But I'm confident that he's going to get himself out of this funk. And I look forward to providing more Glenn updates in the future.
All right. Well, boys.
Tell him he's getting hello.
Yeah. Make sure he picks a team soon.
Yeah, dude.
No, he's under a lot of stress.
I can't put
under a lot of
any
stress, but we need his team for this show.
I know.
It's a requirement.
He has responsibilities, man. I know. Just be easy on him. He's doing his best. Okay. He's had a rough go of it. We know his story.
Yeah,
Raised on the streets in New York City. Never knew his father.
New York.
Bitten by a radioactive spider.
Left, brought here by his parents from the planet Krypton.
We're just blending our realities and universes now, aren't we?
But then when they get here, his parents were murdered, while they were at the opera. And,
It's a good origin story.
That's how it goes.
My best friend's Ben Affleck.
Uncle Ben was there. He got murdered.
No, not Ben.
All right, boys. I think that's another solid episode in the books. First episode on YouTube. How do you feel?
Got the jitters out, man. No shaking really. Jitters out. Had fun, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, we want to thank you for listening and watching. If you're on YouTube, just like Greg said, like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you get our updates. Really excited to be on here and going forward into the season here. If you're on Spotify or Apple, keep listening, share with your friends. And then as always, if you want to interact with us, actually, Instagram is the best way. We're going to be putting clips up there. George, do you want to give them the Instagram?
Yeah,
the handle's A Bit of Banter Pod. We are pretty active on that. And yeah, if you want to interact with us, you can also follow us on our handles in there. I'll use our hashtag BanterOn. We can use that for YouTube as well, and Instagram and Twitter. So thank you, everyone.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Have a great week, everybody.
Talk to you later, man.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.